The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code Mr. Tipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at ClevermanNYC. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. What's going on, everybody? It's time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on this Thursday morning. It is NFL Draft Day. You can see I got my NFL gear on, my Dallas Cowboys shirt going on. I'm excited about the NFL Draft that's coming up. My dude, Tommy Carranza, tuning in, saying, what's up, Tip? Beastrill saying, good morning, Tip. We got Kent Jari saying, hi. Hello, everybody. Hope that you are doing fantastic so far. Hope that you are excited for what is about to be coming your way. If you're an NFL fan, the excitement of thinking about what your team might do today. I already know where my mindset is with the Dallas Cowboys. I feel like they're more than likely going to trade away the 2 first-round picks they have for like a 7th-round pick in 2050, right? Like that's just how I feel. Jerry Jones is going to do his thing. He's never going to die. He'll always be the vampire that sucks the lifeblood out of the Dallas Cowboys. And therefore me. Jerry Jones sucks me home. That was not a good start to the show. I got to get all these out before we join the Under the Hood podcast group with my guy Jonathan Hood, his group, and everything that they've got going on. That'll be happening in May. So we'll be loosely affiliated with some of the stuff that they've got going on with that as well. Be sure saying pause. There had to be a full stop. It's too early in the morning for that type of a comment. Like, I got to wait till after 8:30. I've been up for a little while. Been up for a bit. Just, debating what's going to happen with my Dallas Cowboys going forward here in the NFL draft. I was watching Unsportsmanlike on ESPN, listening to Unsportsmanlike on ESPN radio. My dude Pat Costello hanging out in Pittsburgh. James Steele also hanging out in Pittsburgh. From Bob, Jim, and Pat get drunk on the internet. The one time they go to the NFL draft, I don't go to the NFL draft. It feels weird. Like, because I knew what my schedule was going to be like, I didn't even put in for a credential because I knew I couldn't abandon my crew this early in the season. But it feels weird. Like this is the first time in what, 5, 6 years that I'm not doing like a whole bunch of stuff centered around the draft. Like I was even thinking about it. Last year we went to Twin Peaks, had like a little draft show out there. It was a fun time. This year, I'm not going to really be able to do any of that. I'll just be hanging out at work. Obviously, it's a baseball game, but I mean, hey, it's a weird feeling to me. Like I'm in this weird place right now mentally, where it's like all this stuff you used to do that was so much fun you can't do now because you have adult responsibilities. Says the 40-year-old man. 42? Yeah, I'm 42. Wow. 42-year-old man. I had to think about what my age was at that point in time. Nonetheless, Strilla, Tommy, who are you hoping your team gets? What are you hoping your team does? Strilla, you should be excited your Detroit Pistons got their first home playoff win since 2008. I think about that, right? And I say to myself, damn, that's a really long-ass time. But then I have to remember, after winning the championship in, 04, losing to the Spurs in 05, they held on. Like they tried to make some deep playoff runs after that. But then, the 2010s were just so bad for the Detroit Pistons. So it's nice to see them back on the come up. After losing that first game to Orlando, I was in shock. I didn't think Orlando was going to get, the first game. If there's a game to get, it's always the first game, but I just didn't think Orlando was going to be able to do that. But yesterday, Detroit handled the Orlando Magic the way that they should. It shouldn't have ever been an issue to begin with, but they were able to do what they needed to do and get the ball rolling there. But the day before that, and again, like we got to go back to Tuesday. I didn't get to do a Tuesday show. Had some stuff that I had to wind up doing at work. Didn't get to do a show yesterday because of a morning game or a day game for baseball, so I didn't get to do a show yesterday. So now I got to recap. And I'm so glad that I didn't get to do a show yesterday because I would have been in tears thinking about what happened to my unicorn, to my alien, Victor Wembanyama. The way that he fell and hit his head and was massively concussed. Strilla saying the Pistons played Piston basketball last night. I mean, based off of the last 16 years, I would say losing basketball would be the Pistons brand of basketball. Sorry, man. That's just me being a hating ass hater. So that game against Orlando was actually Detroit Pistons basketball, not the win. Though those come few and far between. But I'm sitting there watching as Victor Wembanyama, again, like just big, tall, lanky, somehow super coordinated, but also not very coordinated, falls down and just bashes his face into the hardwood on the NBA court. And I sit there and I think to myself, that's it for the season. Now I take a step back, gather my thoughts, gather myself, breathe in, a couple of breathing exercises, things like that to help me out, to get me through this tough time as a San Antonio Spurs fan. And then I think to myself, the Spurs don't play until Friday. So he misses that first game in Portland, probably comes back Sunday for that second game in Portland. If the Spurs can split in Portland, I'm feeling good about going forward. That looked worse in slow motion for Wemby. He'll be good. Yeah, I agree. In slow motion, it looked horrible. I mean, in real time, it looked bad because I was watching it. I was like, oh, my God. I saw the future of San Antonio Spurs basketball just go up in a heap of smoke as though it was Tua Tagovailoa. But, yeah, whenever you watch the slow motion, it really does get you. You sit there and you think to yourself, man, like it looked really bad. Really bad. But like I said, the thing that helps out the Spurs is that they don't play again until Friday. So tomorrow. You have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He's more than likely going to miss that. And then, like I said, they get another game. I want to say it's on Sunday, but it might also be, it's on Sunday. Split in Portland, and you're fine. Split in Portland, and you're good. And I think that that's where the mindset for the San Antonio Spurs needs to be at. This is a good enough team to sweep the series in Portland, like to win both games in Portland. They are a good enough team to do that. I just think it's a bit much to have that expectation whenever you have your main guy missing. And whenever you've got, Victor Wembanyama not available to you, it is cause for concern. At least I would be. I 100% would be concerned with the fact that you don't have that guy, specifically that guy, available for you. Nonetheless, though, it's all good. We'll see how our San Antonio Spurs do in the future. Strilla, how did you feel about your Detroit Pistons? Strilla saying if Victor plays, the series is over. Because I feel like Detroit just took, in game one, they took Orlando lightly. And that's going to happen. Whenever you're a high caliber, playoff team and you have a level of expectations, you're the number one team in your conference, you might get got, right? At least that one time. And that's what makes the NBA playoffs so much fun is it's not a single game sample. It is the entire 7-game series. You got to beat me 4 times in order to prove that you're better than me, especially if you're the lower seed. You got to win those games to prove that you're better than me. And it just doesn't. I can't see Orlando winning 3 more games. I can't see Orlando winning another game. Like, I think the game that they got was game 1 of that series. You're going to tell me, Tip, it's going back to Orlando. Anything can happen for the home team. Not really, man. Not like that. Basketball really is that sport where the upsets, unless it's college basketball, the upsets don't happen all that often. And you can't say like a 4-5 upset is a real upset. Trill saying they didn't play the way that got them 60 wins and the Eastern Conference's number 1 seed. Exactly. If the Detroit Pistons play the way that they've played all year, they should have no problem with the Orlando Magic. Like it shouldn't be difficult for them. I keep getting like this thing telling me that a website isn't loading, but then it loads. And then I think about what's going to be the biggest issue for Detroit looking forward. And again, like I shouldn't be looking forward, but I really kind of do. I don't see Orlando winning this series. If Cleveland is able to get past the Raptors, which they should, they're already up 2-0. If Cleveland's able to get past the Raptors, I think that causes a bit of an issue, a matchup issue for the Detroit Pistons. Cleveland's a really good team. Like, you don't watch a lot of Cleveland Cavaliers basketball in El Paso, Texas. So I have to like actively seek out specific types of games and stuff like that. But I really like the way this Cleveland Cavaliers team is made up. Strilla agreeing with me too, saying Cleveland will be a problem for the Pistons. I agree, dude. Like, and I'm not saying it to be like a jerk or anything like that. I think Cleveland being the 4 seed is the anomaly. They should be like the 2 seed. They are a really good team. I know they had injuries, they had issues like that. You got Evan Mobley, you got Donovan Mitchell. Like, they've got a squad, man. Like it's gonna be tough. It's really gonna be tough. I don't see Cleveland winning a championship this year, but I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are a really, really good team, and it causes a matchup issue for the Detroit Pistons. And same thing with Boston, right? I think it was the beginning of the season. I was like, Boston should just, slide into the playoffs, not worry about anything. Don't even bring Tatum back. Tatum comes back from that Achilles. Boston's still the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. That's a scary team. That genuinely is. And again, Selfishly, I want the San Antonio Spurs versus Boston Celtics NBA Finals. I think that would be so much fun. I've never gotten to see the Spurs take on the Celtics in the NBA Finals, so it would be fun to watch. Especially like those mid 2000s to like mid 2010s teams where it felt like there was always the possibility of it happening, but it just never happened. Instead, San Antonio got Miami twice and then split the series with them. Tim Duncan should be a 6-time NBA champion. I like the Cavs. I think the Cavs are a good team. It'll be fun to watch. The Knicks, Strilla brought that up, like, hey, how would the Knicks do? I don't think the Knicks would be much of a problem. I think they're a fraudulent 3 seed. Strilla saying it could happen, but I'm partial to Spurs Pistons. I would like that as well. It'd be 21 years since the last time the Spurs played the Pistons in the NBA Finals. And that was, again, an epic NBA Finals. I loved it so damn much. So much. It was like, again, if you love defense, that NBA Finals, that 2005 NBA Finals was so much fun. It went the full 7, didn't it? Or did it only go 6? I felt like it went to 7. We'll look that up real quick. Yeah, it went to Game 7 the first time that an NBA Finals went to Game 7 since 1994. Hell yeah, man. It was so much fun. So much fun. And it was a shame. Like, Detroit was such a good team too. But the Spurs were they were a juggernaut of a team then. I mean, they still kind of are. But like that whole Tim Duncan, Bruce Bowen, Tony Parker, Ginobili, Robert Horry was still on the Spurs at that point in time. That was such a good squad. Strillo saying, yeah, I went the full 7, best of 2, the best 2 defenses. Hell yeah. I'm trying not to look at the roster for the Detroit Pistons, but I'm going to go Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace. All right, like that had to be the starting 5 for the Detroit Pistons at that time. That's a good-ass starting 5. The Crook Commish saying, Money Mike, what's up, bro? TC, how's it hanging? Commish, I'm sorry I couldn't get back to you yesterday. We're day game preparations, doing all that stuff. And then, selfishly, for me, I wanted to take that evening off, yesterday evening off, because I got to see my sister for the first time in almost 10 years. Got to meet my nephews for the first time. Man, they're young. She got to meet Jinder for the first time. It was awesome. We hung out at Dave & Buster's for a little bit. It was a really good time. Got to see my sister Felicia for the first time in 9 years. Because the last time I saw her was before Jinder was born and before Destiny was even pregnant with Jinder, because it was like September of 2016. I hadn't even gone to ESPN yet. Dang. Strill saying Rasheed for getting to guard Robert Horry cost the Pistons that championship 1,000%. You do not leave Robert Horry wide open. We all knew that. Well, we saw it happen a million times. Was it? Was Sheed also? No, Sheed couldn't have been there. You know what? Maybe he was. I'm thinking about that right now. Or maybe I'm getting it mixed up. Maybe it was Chris Webber and Sacramento and not Portland and Rasheed Wallace. But I feel like there was a game against Portland where Robert Horry also hit a huge 3 to like get them to either the Western Conference Final or the NBA Final. The commission completely understandable, bro. Family comes first. I appreciate you saying that, my guy. Nina Ninja, hi, how are you? Hope that you're having yourself a great day. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Trying to build that audience, Tommy, so that we can get, what was it again, the super comments or something like that. I'm only 900 people away. I don't even know what that is, but we're trying. We're figuring it out. Anyway, I love that, man. Taking that trip down memory lane. Big Shot Rob, yeah. I'm going to have to look that up. Super chats. There we go. Super chats. I love that Tommy knows more about YouTube content creation than I do. Should give Tommy a show. I should have had you on today to talk about the NFL draft. You know, I love me some NFL draft stuff. And again, sad that I won't be at the NFL draft, that I won't have a draft show at Buffalo Wild, or not Buffalo Wild. We had Twin Peaks like I did last year. But I'll be out at Southwest University Park. You can come check out the El Paso Chihuahuas. I will have the draft on TVs throughout the stadium. Adam Hurley saying Kwame Brown greater than KD. Clearly not, but Kwame Brown had a longer career than most people would have given him credit for. I want to say he played, 13 seasons? Obviously not great being a number one overall pick, but he played better, man. He played better than people give him credit for. I do love me some Kwame Brown. I will also say Kwame Brown on social media, a much better troll than Kevin Durant is. Much better troll than Kevin Durant is. Strill saying we're having on the One Ass Cheeks, Three Toes podcast. There we go. There we go. Getting that One Ass Cheek, Three Toes podcast starting today with the NFL draft. Tommy reminded me that he's a YouTube OG. He's been there since day one, brother. For a long time, like, I was so anti-YouTube because, like, I loved, radio and music and stuff. And, like, all I would do whenever I went on YouTube was watch, like, music videos and stuff. And that's after MTV decided it just wasn't going to have music videos anymore. But I was like I'm not going to watch all this stuff on YouTube. And then lo and behold, like 15 years later, here I am on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on X, all over the place. I keep wondering if I should just I should have done it this week. Oh, well, we'll do it next week. We'll see. Strill saying now there's no MTV. It is kind of sad. It really is sad. Like, I used to love watching like the music videos on MTV, like obviously like the early 90s, mid 90s, like stuff like that. I think TRL kind of really ruined MTV because like it wouldn't play the full video. Like it would just play snippets of the video on TRL. But like Yo MTV Raps, oh dude, that was my shit. Loved Yo MTV Raps. The Unplugged, that was so cool. I loved whenever they would do like the concerts at spring break and stuff like that. Like, I might have mentioned this on the show before, but one of my favorite memories of like watching that type of stuff was I went over to my brother's house. I'm the only one that's awake at this time. I'm watching, the MTV spring break stuff, and they're like at South Padre Island or something like that. And there's like a thunderstorm raging behind them, and there was supposed to be like Bush was supposed to perform. Big fan of Bush. Had to let that marinate for a minute. But like Gavin Rosdale, and I remember they're like, well, no one's going to play this and that, blah, blah, blah. They're like doing their thing. Then you could like see like while they're talking about other stuff, like, oh, well, tomorrow the weather's supposed to calm down, blah, 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 blah. You see in the background like a guy getting on the stage. He just gets his guitar and plugs it in, and then he starts playing. And it's Gavin Rosdale from Bush, and he's playing like Glycerin and stuff. And that to me was like just awesome. Awesome. Strill saying, aren't we all a big fan of Bush? I thought Reggie Bush was going to be amazing, man. And then I saw whenever he was with New Orleans, I think it was him. And like Drew Brees kind of throws that little wheel route to him, and then he gets blown up by Brian Dawkins. Yeah. But yes, I agree. I think the majority of us should be a fan of Bush. Bush Light, Bush the band. I know I am. That was so dumb. It was one of the dumbest things I think I've ever said on this show, which is saying a lot because I've said a lot of dumb shit on this show. Strill saying, especially if it's marinated. Whatever do you mean, sir? What could you possibly be talking about? I am not sure. It really seals in the flavor, is what Bistro is saying. I feel bad if anybody's like this is their first time tuning into this thing, and this is the conversation that we went on. I was talking about MTV. I was talking about like an actual band, a really good band, a band that I love. It's not my fault they have a strange name. But yes, marinated Bush, the best. All right, so I spoke a little bit about the NBA playoffs, a little bit about the stuff that's going to be coming up here. As a reminder, Fire and Ice is back. We will be back this Saturday at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive on the west side of El Paso, Texas. Come hang out with us. We'll recap some of the draft. We'll recap a bunch of stuff going on in the playoffs. We'll see how the Spurs handle being without their alien, no Victor Wembanyama, in Game 3 of the NBA playoffs, the first round of the NBA playoffs. I told y'all, the worst thing they could have done is give me hope. They gave me hope. Wemby gets hurt, and now I feel like all hope has been dashed. OKC leading the Suns right now, 2-0. The Lakers leading the Rockets right now, which I was not expecting. Houston should be better than this. But the Lakers out here dominating the Houston Rockets. And then they go on the road. Like the next 2 games are going to be in LA. It's not looking good. Not looking good for them at all. Kevin Durant leading the way. The Rockets right now are a 9.5-point favorite. Oh no, I guess they are going to Houston tomorrow. The Rockets may be trying to get right at home, but the Rockets are a 9.5-point favorite, and I cannot see a scenario where if the Rockets lose this first game at home, they win this series. Houston's not good enough to come back from being down 3-0. LA shouldn't be good enough to be up 2-0, but whatever. It is what it is. Has Luka even played? I don't think Luka's played in the series, has he? Let me look that up, because I think Luka is out. I wonder if this is a clickbait article that I just saw right now. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, no Luka, no Reeves. Like, this is LeBron. You're losing. And again, like Kevin Durant isn't like much younger than LeBron or anything like that, but you're losing to a geriatric LeBron James. That article says that Luka is nowhere near coming back. Again, this is LeBron James, right? Like this isn't even a healthy LA Lakers team. And you're saying, yeah, Marcus Smart. I know Marcus Smart shows up. He's a pest defensively. He'll get you a couple of buckets here and there. But again, you're missing Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. And you're beating the Houston Rockets, who were a team after trading for Kevin Durant that a lot of people thought would be a championship caliber team. And they just aren't. The Houston Rockets just aren't. They should like you shouldn't have lost those games in LA. I get it. You're the 5 seed, so technically you're the underdog. Blah 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 blah. You're a 9.5-point favorite at home. You're a pretty damn good team. Exactly, and KD's there. KD is there. You're still beating them. Amen Thompson, Alfred Sengun. I don't like Alfred Sengun. I think he's okay. But a lot of, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of glazing on him. Same thing with old boy from Portland. Can't even remember his name. Alvia or whatever. That guy. I don't know. The LA Lakers being up 2-0 on the Houston Rockets, what the Rockets being a 9.5-point favorite going into a game tomorrow night on Prime Video. I hope the Rockets, like you deserve to lose all of this. All of this. You're not even like, I don't know. They're just not a good enough team right now, the Houston Rockets. And it's kind of embarrassing. I don't even have a segue for it. We're just going to get right into just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Visit them today and check out all the stuff they have for you guys. It's getting hotter, which means it's getting hotter down there too. You want to be comfortable, get that comfort cream, get that comfort powder, whichever one you're more comfortable with, and make sure your boys aren't sticking to your leg. You ain't got to do that awkward walk to get your boys loose and unstuck to you. www.myhappynuts.com. They've got a bunch of bundle packages out there as well. And if you use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout, you save on all your male grooming needs. I am here for you. I want your nuts to be as happy as my nuts. And the only way they can do that is www.myhappynuts.com. Promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save. Augustine saying that I'm so mean to Alfred. Well, his name is not Alfred, it's Alfred. Augustine also saying, I am always hot, sticking to my knee. Strilla saying, pause, Augustine. The more of the tip you get, the happier my nuts are, says the Cricket Committee. That's a good one. That is a good one. Whenever you go beyond the tip, you get happy nuts. There's another one there, but I don't know if I'm going to say that. That might be a little too much. I'm sure you guys, you men, understand where I'm going with this. The NFL draft happening tonight, round 1 of the NFL draft right now. The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock, and it seems like a foregone conclusion that the Las Vegas Raiders, not the LA Raiders, are going to be drafting quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Y'all already know how I feel about this. I'm not a fan. I feel like the Raiders have so much more that they can address. They should trade this pick away, get a ransom for it, and go on their merry little way. If they do draft Fernando Mendoza, though, he joins a list of quarterbacks like Jameis Winston, Joe Burrow, that win a national championship and then get drafted to the NFL. I'm trying to think who else is there. Tebow's got to be there, right? Won a national championships, gets drafted. Actually, I think it's first round of the NFL, so we're not going to put Tebow there. Tebow was a third-round pick, I think, right? Am I old now? Am I just forgetting all kinds of stuff? But you join a list with Jameis Winston and Joe Burrow on it, and you're expected to have some sort of Awesome career. And then you remember that list of people that have won a national championship and get drafted in the first round includes Deshaun Watson. And as long as you are not Deshaun Watson bad, as both a human being and an NFL player, Fernando Mendoza, you'll be a halfway decent person. So I hope that the Raiders do something for you. Although I will say, all the vices in Vegas, it's a good thing you're a good person, a halfway good person. Strill saying, will they get Mendoza, though? Getting Cousins makes you go, I think they do. I think they do, because Cousins would be a great guy to teach Mendoza, like, how to play in the NFL, right? Like Kirk Cousins, people can say all they want about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a really good football player, a really good quarterback. Not as good as Dak Prescott, who's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL when healthy, but he's still a serviceable quarterback. He's a really good quarterback. He sticks around for a reason. The resurgence of the Atlanta Falcons last year was because they decided to put, Penix on the bench and bring out Cousins, and Kirk Bangs was out there just doing his thing. Yeah, Cousins, his agent is arguably the greatest agent of all time. Let's not forget, the very first fully guaranteed contract in NFL history is Kirk Cousins, of all people. The very first all guaranteed contract was Kirk Cousins with the Minnesota Vikings. Strill saying that agent belongs in the Hall of Fame. 1,000% he does. Who is Kirk Cousins? It's not Boris, is it? I can't picture Kirk Cousins being as Christian as he is with Scott Boris, that monster. His agent's name is Mike McCartney. Not to be confused with Mike McCarthy, but Mike McCartney. Mike McCartney of Vanier Sports. I wonder who else. Who else has this Mike McCartney individual? Wow. This Mike McCartney actually has a lot of people. I am surprised by. He's got Aiden Hutchinson, Evan Ingram. I'm just looking up names of people that you might have actually heard of. Zach Charbonnet, Tyler Conklin. I mean, he's got a couple of guys. A lot of them like with Detroit ties, but he's got a lot of guys. There's no way that's right. Are the Falcons still paying Cousins as well? There's no way. Holy shit. The Atlanta Falcons have $35 million that they're still paying to Kirk Cousins over the next 2 years, while Cousins has a contract with the Las Vegas Raiders. Kirk Cousins' agent is the greatest human being of all time. Like, we all need an agent like Kirk Cousins' agent. I need to find if Mike McCartney sponsors sports talk people. Maybe you can help me get a damn contract. I was talking to one of my friends because I do get frustrated from time to time. Got a new radio station in El Paso, and I didn't even reach out to your boy. And I'm like, I'm not it doesn't match what I do because it's like music and stuff, but it still would have been reach out. And there's been a couple of people that I put on to the radio that all of a sudden forget about your boy. But it's all good. But I get frustrated here in El Paso because I know for a fact, had I taken jobs elsewhere, I'd still be on air. But I wanted to stay in El Paso and do my thing and do all this because I love El Paso. People forget I turned down ESPN twice in 2021 to go back. Should have. That's a joke. Don't take that seriously. But yeah, 2021, turned him down twice. Turned down a job in Dallas. Turned down a job in Chicago. Because I wanted to be here in El Paso and hopefully do something. And we're doing all right. We're getting through it. I need to stop my personal lament. I need to get Mike McCartney as my agent. That's where I was going with this. One of my friends told me, Mike, you need to get an agent. That agent will help you get on air. But again, like, I don't want to move right now. I moved a lot before. I don't want to move anymore. I want to stay in El Paso. I want to buy a radio station. Surreal saying, wow, he's the agent of 3 Lions. I know, that was one of the crazier things right there. Like, maybe that's what it is. They saw that he took care of Aiden Hutchinson and decided, you know what? I need to get him as my guy. I wonder how much money he's made, right? Because it's what, 5% for the agent, 3 to 5% for the agent. The Crooked Commish saying you wanted to make your own path, and that's what you're doing. I appreciate you, my dude. I really do. I know it's been a weird wandering path this last year or so. I guess just back to August has been a weird meandering path. I need to stop looking at Mike McCartney's like agents that he's, or the players that he is the agent of. Who's Fernando Mendoza's agent? Now that I'm thinking about it, I bet that one, maybe it's Lee Steinberg. It is Lee Steinberg. That's my guy. That is my dude, Lee Steinberg. I've had him on the show before in the past. Met him through Brandon the Iceman Cone whenever we were doing Fire or Crunch Time together on 600 ESPN El Paso. Lee Steinberg follows me on social media, which is awesome. The inspiration, for those that don't know, Lee Steinberg, the inspiration for Jerry Maguire. So it's awesome to see my dude out there representing Fernando Mendoza. Another number 1 overall pick that Lee Steinberg gets to represent. All right, now we got the Jets picking at number 2. This mock draft has them taking Arvell Reese, edge rusher out of Ohio State. This is where I think Ruben Bain should go. And again, I said it on a show on Monday, actually. I think Ruben Bain, to me, is the best prospect in this draft. I'll probably be wrong, but I felt like Ruben Bain is the best prospect in this draft. He's so good, just so well-rounded. You add him to the defensive line, no matter where you are, I think you'll be okay. Next on there, I'll have David Bailey out of Texas Tech. I just think Ruben Bain was a little more explosive. Also, the Big 12, not really a defensive conference, so you play a little bit of defense, you can have amazing numbers. That's just my thoughts on it. The Arizona Cardinals picking at 3. This mock draft has Francis Moagoya, probably messed that name up, an offensive lineman out of Miami. That's what I was going to do. I was going to look up Mel Kiper's draft because I love looking at Mel Kiper's draft and seeing how much he gets wrong. Paid millions of dollars to be wrong. Okay, they haven't put that up yet. Draft cast. The Raiders are on the clock. I love that they have Arvell Reese as the best available, but Fernando Mendoza as the best pick. That's funny to me. The Raiders need a quarterback, a wide receiver, a defensive tackle, a cornerback, and an offensive guard. That's why I'm saying trade away that pick. You have so much that you need. Trade away that pick. That is wild to me why you wouldn't do that. Like, it's just Mendoza's not going to have success right off the bat. Right off the bat. They're not going to have that type of success. Tommy's saying that he thinks Bailey is the better prospect, to be honest. Strill is saying 3% on NFL contracts agents make on average. Jesus. Tommy's saying that he likes RB2. I'm assuming you're talking about Reuben Baines. I was like, what running back are you talking about? But yes, Reuben Baines. I was going to say Jeremiah Love. Strill saying the Giants are in perfect position. I agree with you 100%. I would not be surprised. Actually, you know what? That would be interesting. If the Giants trade, what, they've got the number 5 pick, right? If I'm the Raiders right now, I'm calling up the Giants, and I'm saying Arvell Reese would look really good on your defensive line, especially since you just lost Dexter Lawrence. You get him on a rookie deal, and you're able to, have him long term. I would do it. I'd call him up, and then as the Raiders, you can get an offensive lineman. You can probably get a quarterback in the second or third round. Tommy Cananza saying, I remember when Kuiper was the only draft guru there was. And McShay. And again, like, the draft is not a science. It's all luck. You can't say who's going to go where definitively unless it's like a guaranteed number 1 overall pick. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the Raiders have so much more, and you'd be able to get so much more. The fans might be upset that you don't draft Fernando Mendoza, but they're still fans. Like fans show up no matter how much the team puts them through. Look at us as Cowboys fans, Strilla as a Lions fan, the commish as a Bears fan, right? Like, we have dealt with some lean times with our teams. No matter how much they hurt us, we're still there. So again, if I'm the Raiders, I find a way to trade that pick. I feel like you have to. That's the only way that you can really genuinely build your team. You got to find a way to trade that number 1 overall pick. We're going to look at the biggest roster needs for all 32 teams. The Jets need a quarterback. Both teams, both the Jets and the Raiders need a quarterback, but I like that the Raiders have Kirk Cousins. I don't think you're going to get long-term out of him, but you have Kirk Cousins there, so if you wanted to. The Jets need a quarterback. The Cardinals need a quarterback. Outside linebacker and an edge rusher. The Titans need an outside linebacker, or offensive lineman rather, edge rusher and a wide receiver. The Giants need defensive line help, offensive line help, and cornerback help. The Browns need a quarterback, offensive line, and wide receiver help. The Commanders need wide receivers, edge rusher, and offensive line. The Saints need a wide receiver, edge rusher, and cornerback help. The Chiefs need everything on defense, basically, and a wide receiver. Chiefs really do need a wide receiver. The Giants, once again, we went over that defensive, offensive line, and cornerback. The Dolphins need a wide receiver, a cornerback, and an edge rusher. Are they riding with Quinn Ewers as their starting quarterback? I don't like any of this. And I do like Malik Willis. Like, he's okay. Once again, the biggest calves I've ever seen in person. But I feel like you need a quarterback if your quarterback room is Cam Miller, Quinn Ewers, and Malik Willis. That does not seem good. Strill saying 47 years, and I still hate that I love that team. God, I love that phrase continues to resonate with people. Tommy saying, I think they stay and pick. I'm pretty sure they will. But I'm just saying. That's not going to be... You're setting up your quarterback of the future for disappointment and for failure. Like that's not going to be a successful draft pick. I don't see it. Especially with the Raiders. We were at the Dolphins, who are apparently rolling with Quinn Ewers, Malik Willis. What do the Dallas Cowboys need? Everything on defense. Defense, check yes. Help along the defensive line. I think they need an edge rusher. Linebacking core, I don't think they have anybody that's worth a damn as a linebacker. Wilson did okay, but whatever. Cornerbacks, at least I thought, the Dallas Cowboys cornerback room was going to be great. And it's just not. Depth along the defensive line would be fun too. And then according to NFL.com, the Cowboys need help along the offensive line. I like the Cowboys offensive line. I don't know. I mean, I like the. I don't see a obvious weakness along the Cowboys offensive line. Maybe that's just me. As a fan, I agree, Tommy. The defensive back position is the biggest priority. Right now, this mock draft has the Dallas Cowboys taking Dylan Thieneman, a safety out of Oregon. I think Tommy and I both agree that Caleb Downs, if Caleb Downs is there for the Dallas Cowboys at 12, you take Caleb Downs, but I don't think Caleb Downs is going to be available there. Thieneman, I don't know if I'm a big fan of. Do you take Mansour Deline? I'm not blown away. I'm not blown away right now with anybody outside of Caleb Downs as far as like drafting that high. Maybe if you're the Cowboys, you make a trade, you try to jump up, get Caleb Downs, maybe get, again, Reuben Baines. As you can get David Bailey, that would be awesome too. I would love that. Right now he's projected to go to the Commanders, and I do not want that. Jeremiah Love would, like, if Jeremiah Love is there, I'd be happy with that commish. Tommy's saying I can make a case for linebacker as their biggest need too. I agree. Like the linebacking core for the Dallas Cowboys is an absolute dumpster fire. An absolute dumpster fire. But again, like, I'm not in love with who I'm seeing at like linebacker at like 12, right? If they can get it in the second round, something like that. Linebacker, safety, the only one that I think would be good at that position would be Caleb Downs if he's still there. Cowboys trade up. This would be my dream scenario. The Cowboys trade up to like top 5. They draft. We'll go either Reuben Baines or David Bailey, like just one of those two. And then with that second pick in the first round, get Akeem Mesidor, which I think is a really good defensive lineman. And then your defensive line is set. They are set. But I'm looking at like what I see, and again, like I'm not blown away by anybody linebacking or defensive back wise. I'm not. The Bears drafting at 25 are selected according to this mock draft to take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. That could help out. I mean, the Bears, I think the Bears are set offensively. I think they're kind of in the same position as the Cowboys. You got a lot of offense there, but the defense is bad, objectively bad. Tommy's saying, I'd be fine with Styles or Reese at 12, but if it's CJ Allen or any other guys like that, I don't want at 12. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, at 12, I don't think you should be fine with, Sonny Styles or anyone like that, right? Like, you should be, it should be, I want this guy for sure, because that is a high draft. That is a premium draft pick. And to me, again, I feel like I'm one of these guys. Like, I'll trade back, right? If you don't have who you want at 12, get some draft capital. Get another first round pick later on in the first round. Get an additional second round pick or something like that, maybe. But start adding more draft picks. Don't reach for someone if you're not really into that. Strill saying there's about maybe 10 players that have starter potential. I can see that. Again, like it's not a sexy draft. Like, top to bottom, it really isn't. The Kurt Commish saying I'd be good with EMW for sure. Oh yeah. Helping out that defense again, and I think that was the issue with the Bears. Is like their secondary was just not great. Commish saying I don't want a defensive tackle. I'm okay with an edge guy. I can see that. Tommy's saying I do want Styles or Reese. No, I got you. I got you. I just want to see the Cowboys do something, right? And obviously, like if Arvell Reese is available for the Cowboys at 12, that would be mind blowing because many consider him the best in the draft, right? So if he's there at 12, maybe. But then my question comes: if you're considered the best in the draft, how are you still available at 12? Shrill saying this draft is mid at best. Tommy saying, just take the best player on the board. I don't care if it's offense too. Not taking the best player available is what causes you to take Taco Charlton instead of TJ Watt. Wow. Wow, guy. You came off the top rope with that one. You had to slap me across the face with a taco. Most people pay extra for that. Not me, though. It just happens for free. Chicago Clubhouse Network saying, hey, Mr. Tipton, just want to stop in and show some love. I appreciate you. The Kurt Commish here with you as well. The Chicago Clubhouse Network. Always fun whenever I get to join them. I would say 95% of them actually, think of me as a decent human being. I was right, though. I told you all. You beat the Cowboys. It was going to be a great season. I told you all that would happen. I got all the text messages, me going back and forth with the commission, being like, nah, dude, the season ain't over. You got to get right against the Cowboys, and you'll get right and make it to the playoffs. Look what happened. Look what happened. All right, everybody, once again, as always, I love and appreciate the support. We will see you all tomorrow on a Friday. It's a TIP VIP Friday. We'll put that link out there. Go all that out there. See who can join us on the show tomorrow for that TIP VIP Friday. Everybody enjoy your Thursday. Enjoy draft day. I'll be tweeting and doing all my stuff. Follow me online at Mr. Tipton 33. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day, y'all.